So, continuing our conversation, part 2 now. Repeat your question.
I was disagreeing with your idea that the industry is going into a PC-ization, if I can make up a word, because I'm not cool. I just don't think that that's realistic, because I think that would have a really nasty impact on people's wallets. Respond.
Okay. The thing is that I don't know if you're talking about the fact that they'd have to go out and purchase new hardware. Is that where you're going? Or
yes.
You're going with the idea that they'll always be purchasing games? Because if that's the case, that's already being done on console. But if you're talking hardware, yeah, I mean, you're going to have to do some upgrades here and there. But I mean, even if you buy a computer with today's standards, that computer's going to work a good 3-4 years anyway, with most games, up until you hit a point. Then you may have to upgrade just your graphics card. You know, I mean, it's not too big of a hit, I mean, if you think about it in terms. But I mean, there will always be a console around. I will say that Nintendo will always make a console that's more based for general gaming or casual gaming.
If they ever go the way of Sega, I will come
we will not
and
get
I will
Sega.
dance.
We will not get, the only reason why I don't want to say that we don't want to get into Sega is solely because the best console ever made was the Dreamcast. And that is Sega.
I have to admit, it was a really good console. I'm not going to fight you.
It was ahead of its time, and it was just looked beyond because of the fact that it was doing that. But I mean, we'll get out of that console. That's not where we're going. But I mean, Nintendo will always have a console around, and Microsoft will always have a console around. The reason why I say Microsoft is because of the fact that there is so much integration that Microsoft is focusing on with their phones and with the new operating systems that they've been working on. Windows 8's already got confirmed optimization for your Xbox Live account. So they're going to have a lot of things that you're going to be able to do between your phone, your PC, and the Xbox itself. So I think there'll always be a version of an Xbox.
And if that keeps going, then it won't be necessarily such a question of your loyalties. It'll be more like just which version of a game are you going to play? Are you going to play the phone version, the console version, the PC version? I mean, they've hybridized things across the platforms. They've been doing that for so long, and they're getting fairly good at it. I mean, I'm playing Far Cry 2 because I'm behind everything, but it's a pretty good game, even though it's not on computer.
And just to clarify, if it didn't have the name Far Cry 2, it would have been a better game, because people expected too much with the name Far Cry in it. We'll get into that later.
We'll just leave that. Anything else about E3? I mean, let's get back to the original question.
I mean, there was, like I said, I mean, for me, the big ones was DICE and EA showcasing Battlefield 3. And
I just don't get what's different about Battlefield 3 and Call of Duty. They look essentially the same. Convince me. I'm a little fly in your ear.
All right. So here's the problem with this. Wow. Okay. See, the biggest issue I've had with Modern Warfare or Call of Duty is it's kind of a rehash. Every year it's the same thing, and within the last 3 games, I mean, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, essentially the same exact engine.
Yeah.
1 or 2 minor upgrades. I mean, there was definitely a graphic upgrade between Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, but it's the same game.
It's the same dang game. If you played 1, you can instantly pick up a controller and be at least proficient in the others.
I mean, the big issue came down to me is that there is nothing visually stimulating with Call of Duty whatsoever. It's the same rehash over and over. And as much as I mean, when it comes down to it, which one is the better of Modern Warfare 1 and 2, it's 1. I haven't played 3, so I can't add it to the mix, but I mean, I don't know when it comes down to... one of the biggest mistakes I think that Activision made is they announced the release date to be pretty much the same as Battlefield 3. And the problem I have with that is that if you compare the 2 games side by side, even just the trailers, visually, Battlefield 3 is far superior. At least in graphics. Gameplay-wise, I mean, I can't say anything. What I saw from the E3 demo and what I saw from people playing it, they had 8 live systems running that were playing one map, and it just looked incredibly awesome looking. Battlefield 3 did. I mean, am I going to buy Battlefield 3 versus Modern Warfare 3? Oh yeah, I'll be getting Battlefield 3. I probably will not pick up any more Call of Duty games until they kind of revolutionize the whole series behind it. Actually, one thing I do want to get onto that some people may not know is that they have already announced a 3rd DLC pack for Black Ops.
Oh, really?
And this is just literally a month and a half past the release of Escalation.
I read something the other day about downloadable content, and I think it was that Cracked article. We won't go into that too much.
No
but,
need to.
Yeah, but they were talking about downloadable content and how the future of gaming is located in downloadable content, and that everything is going to be reduced to just extreme versions of downloadable content. And the thing is that if you had DLC with Modern Warfare 1, it's almost like Modern Warfare 2 could have just been DLC for Modern Warfare 1.
And I kind of agree with that because, I mean, there was only a couple minor visual upgrades between Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can agree with that it could have probably just been a DLC pack. And the biggest problem I have is that a lot of these games, they don't give you a lot originally with the first version. Mm-hmm. They give you a couple multiplayer maps, and then they come out with a DLC. Oh, $15, we'll give you 4 more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make
sense. The
pricing
on that is just a little out there.
Now, I mean, I can say, granted, half of this stuff wasn't made when the initial game came out. I mean, you can't assume that, but I cannot justify, in my mind, paying $15 for 4 maps, or 5 even. It's still quite a bit of money. I mean, people are going to pay it. There's no doubt about it, but I can't myself justify paying that much.
If there was straight up downloadable content for Minecraft, I'd be in trouble. I would be in a lot of trouble.
But see, the joy of Minecraft...
Buy the wolves. Okay, I'll pay $30 for the wolf mod.
But see, the joy of Minecraft, especially for the PC, and for those of you that don't know, they did announce, Notch has announced that there will be an Xbox 360 version.
I'm excited about that.
I'm not. But, I mean, the reason being is because, for me, Minecraft, the whole point of it is just having that console feature where you can go in and do settings and change anything you want. And, you know, we can see that with a vast majority of adventure games that people have created using the Minecraft engine.
Which is really cool. And that's kind of what gaming is missing today, that kind of open freedom.
See, this was the problem a long time ago. I mean, I'm going to skip back a little bit to, like, Unreal Tournament 1000,
yeah.
1000, also known as UT99. There was more mod features in the first couple releases of Unreal Tournament than any other game possible.
I played so much Unreal Tournament when it first came out, I thought my eyes were going to bleed.
I think mine did.
What a great game.
But I mean, there was so much you could do. There was so much you could change. People would change weapon skins, the actual game skins, texture packs, add maps, create whatever they wanted to do. And then you come down to current generation, and there's almost no features whatsoever. There's even UT is not the same anymore. They can't release the same stuff with it, and it's kind of a disparaging fact that kind of goes back to the fact that everything's being consoleized now.
Yeah.
Because people create things with console in mind, and they don't add these features that could make or break the game.
You know, it's interesting. Like, we've been talking about E3, and I'm sure there's been so much discussion about E3 and people. Again, that it's kind of a dead horse at this point. But wouldn't it be cool if there was, and there probably is one of these, so feel free to smack me in a minute. But wouldn't it be cool if there was an indie E3? I mean, I would go to that, and I would pay money to go to that. The indie, there is, isn't there?
I think there is. I think there. It's not just indie E3, but I
thought I was being so clever. That was weird, sorry.
That was very weird. Deleted.
Edited. I have to look that up, though. Indie E3, that'd be fantastic.
Well, I mean, they'll always... I think indie games, personally, have taken a major step forward at this rate, because the gaming market has changed so much that indie developers are able to do more because they're kind of listening to everybody on the internet that says, I want this, I want that, and they'll go ahead and do it because... you know, they know that they can do it, and they don't need a lot of money to make these things.
No, they don't. And it's I mean, when you look at Minecraft, it's amazing how small it is. The file that you download for your computer, and all the things that you can do with it, and all the amazing things.
You do realize it expands, becomes a lot bigger, right?
Yes. But anyway, the sad thing is, though, is this crazy thing they've got going where they're making games into movies, and Rihanna is in Battleship, and they're making a Monopoly movie. I'll go see the Monopoly movie. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I'll see it. But who would be in a Minecraft movie? I'm thinking Samuel L. Jackson. I'm sick of these mother effing blocks in this mother effing block world. I would see that. I would pay money to see that. You know,
and I have heard the thing about the Battleship movie and Monopoly, which I really am going to say that just sounds dumb. But, you know, people got to do what they got to do to make some money, because we're entirely out of ideas these days.
As long as they don't make Candyland starring Miley Cyrus or anything like that, I think we can survive. I think we'll be all right. It's a great time to be a gamer, though. I mean,
so we just completely sold this idea to make Candyland with Miley Cyrus.
Yes, if it happens, you owe me money, and him too.
I don't want a part of it.
You don't want their blood money.
I don't want any money.
Their Billy Ray Cyrus blood money.
Anything that involves Miley Cyrus, I want to stay far away from.
Don't want your name on that. You know, the sad thing is...
Candyland, starring Miley Cyrus as a stripper.
A little much. I think we still would need Disney involved. But dude, you know what? That movie would make bank.
I don't even think Disney wants anything to do with her anymore.
But tell me that movie would not make bank.
I think it would, because you'd still have those little girls that absolutely love Hannah Montana and expect to see her in a film that she'll never exist in again.
Dude, we should work in Hollywood.
And we would totally be fired after one day.
Well, because Miley Cyrus Candyland would flop.
Yeah, you're so revolutionary.
Hollywood is not being about revolutionary. It's about following the rules well.
Hollywood is not even about... Okay.
Back on topic. Okay.
What was our topic?
We were discussing indie E3 and E3 in general. Any other remarks about E3? Any?
Again, I do think it was probably one of their more disappointing conference shows this year. But, we'll see what happens next year. I'm going to say that.
The orchestra playing Zelda music was cool.
That was pretty cool. I mean, and the fact that they're releasing a soundtrack, that's kind of cool too. Yeah. I really like the an idea that they're going to actually run a full tour with this orchestra to play Zelda songs.
But it says something when one of the coolest things about the conference is the show and not the hardware. When that's getting on the list, you've got a problem.
So why did you like E3? What was your favorite thing about E3?
What was my favorite thing about E3? I'm not 100% certain. I think it was the Zelda orchestra, honestly. I'm just not impressed with the Wii U. I'm not. Even the Vita, it just all seems rehashed. There's a million FPSs out there. Don't get me wrong, I love FPSs. But I played Modern Warfare 2 for a good, 2 days. I was done with it, and when I went through the firefight at the burger joint, yes, that was cool, and the airport thing, that was nice too. But it's like, it's been done. I mean, where's the new stuff? Where's the innovation? Where's the stuff that makes me feel like a child again? I want to feel like a child again. Minecraft makes me feel like a child again. It does.
So we have nostalgia wannabes here. That's great.
Well, I think most really mature gamers have nostalgia as a core component of
I
their
believe so
identity
too,
as a
because
gamer.
the biggest thing for me was recently redoing a lot of the old games. I mean, I spent last weekend playing the original Duke Nukem 3D.
Awesome, sir.
And,
awesome.
And the original Alice in Wonderland. Oh,
Props.
Alice was so good.
Yes.
But
that's
I mean,
good stuff, man.
The thing is, it's got to tell you something when you look at the current situation of games today, and a lot of people are asking, hey, what games were good to play 10 years ago? Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's got to tell you something about today's market. It's just not full of anything anymore.
I saw a playthrough of Dungeon Siege 3. There was just nothing that I found interesting about that.
And it's terrible, because Dungeon Siege, the first one, was such an incredible game. Mm. And I mean, granted, it took a lot from other games, but it still did well. It had a really good story. It wasn't crap. And then now 2 came out, and then everybody was like, okay, this is terrible. And then 3, and it just looks terrible.
It looked like a Call of Duty-ization, if there's another ization for you.
You know,
of the RPG genre. It's more cinematic.
I'm going to ask one question. Why does everything always have to be compared to Call of Duty?
I think it's because Call of Duty is such a titan.
And it's not just you. I mean, the whole everybody has to compare to Call of Duty. And it's not. I don't think it's because it's a titan. I think it's because people are too stuck on one game that they automatically have to spew something out and say, well, it's nothing like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of like Apple. I mean, Apple, depending on how you feel about Apple, the thing is that when you're talking industry, everyone is talking and comparing to Apple, because they're just, they throw their weight around. They're huge, and they're also polarizing. I mean, there's so much innovation, there's so much going on with Apple, and I mean, that's just where the conversation goes.
Okay, hold on, people. Part 3 is coming at this point, because Apple's another